Hi, the gratitude journal for July 5th and 6th. The year is 2020. I don't even know where to start. So I also don't know if I will cover everything, if I'm in the mood to cover everything, but a few interesting things happened. So I started a 48-hour fasting. That was my intention. And in the end I did 39 and I stopped there because my intention was 48 hours because that's what I've heard about how to reset your immune system and stuff. Not that I needed to reset, but I just felt like doing it, and that has been in my mind for already a year or two to do it. But it's not an easy thing, to be honest. And I'm doing intermittent fasting, which is 12 to 16 hours of not eating and then eating. And that also didn't go well day one or maybe even day two, but then day three, I just listened to my body and it just happened. So in the end, it was not about doing 48 hours, and 48 hours is what uh, scientifically accepted as the time you need to do, but we're all different. So some may need longer, some may need shorter, maybe. But for me, it was not about the reset. In the end, it was about cleansing and getting inspiration, getting insights. Like when I did the Oshava diet for 10 days. There I needed to finish the 10 days because it was on the 10th evening that things happened. But in this case, it was different. Day one was okay. And then when day two had to start, was like this. But what mainly happened is that I went to sleep relatively early, and I started with a meditation on the second night. So after finishing the whole day one. And I fell asleep, and I knew this could happen, so I did my meditation in bed, so in the dark, I could fall asleep, it was okay. Then after sleeping about for an hour, I woke up and contemplation started, things started to come, and I got beautiful insights. Insights that I will not share here now because they're for my program when it comes to intimacy, sexuality, and the male-female balance. But a big insight came. And because the contemplation went on for a while, I completely lost my sleep. So in the end, at 6 o'clock, I just got up, opened the curtains, opened the windows, I brushed my teeth, and I went to the park. And it was Monday morning, and there were already cars on the street, but it was not as crowded as normally. So I went through the first park. It was so interesting. I wanted to stop at my favorite tree to have a moment of grounding, and this big crow came and started screaming at me. And I felt like, okay, so I need to keep walking. And also the spot where I stand on the tree was full of spider webs. I was not in the mood of having all those spider webs on my clothes, so I was like, okay. And walked a little bit further, and there was this tree with plums. I was like, oh, let's grab some plums. Because I had already grabbed some cherries, and those I put in my water bottle, because after I grabbed them from the tree on the street, I was like, oh yeah, but I'm fasting. Shit. Let's put them in my bottle. It's fine. And so I continued. At the plum tree, I was like, okay, I'll put them in my backpack. And then the second car came and they were both screaming at me, and they kept chasing me. So I went up the hill towards the second park while realizing like, okay, I need to be somewhere at a certain time. And then I entered the second park, which is the bigger one with the lake, and I was like, okay, which way to go? And I could feel like, okay, take a left, take a right, take a left. And I started walking a path that I never walked. And in a zigzag somehow. Until I arrived at the lake, and there I saw all those beautiful goose families. The adults, the small ones, the middle-aged ones. It was really beautiful. And there was also a lady taking pictures, and the goose were not scared this time, so we could get really close. So I just observed, I took some pictures but not from so close, and I could sense them. I could connect with them. And I have learned very recently how to connect with animals more than before. And it's working. It's really working with cats, with dogs, and so also with the goose, and later on also with the ducks. And yeah, I had also to meet that lady because we exchanged some information about things we knew about those animals, and then we part ways again. I don't remember her name. I just know that she was visiting a friend, and she woke up early and she decided to go into the park for a run. But this short, fun encounter was only possible because I was grounded, conscious, and connected. I continued in this energy, and I made my round of the lake, and we crossed paths. We just waved. She was jogging, I was walking, and then I sat down and I also observed different people who were there, but I also saw new trees that I never noticed were there. They were not new. They have been there for since ever, but I didn't notice they were there. I didn't know that they had also fruit on them. And I sat on a bench and I put my mobile to record the lake with the ducks moving in it and the people walking by. And I used that recording for my Patreon video, the video about the energy at play, the one that helps you ride the wave of your life. So for that video in the end, because I didn't have my microphone with me, so I could not record on the spot, there was too much wind. So in the end I only needed to record an audio and then glue the two together. And that was really nice. It was all very natural, very spontaneous. And so also for the call that I had scheduled for that day afterwards, which was at noon, wonderful call. We talked for 3 hours. And with a lady who invited me to actually do that first talk about sexuality and stuff. And new ideas came up for courses, workshops, things that we can put online, some cooperation. So it was both talking about our life experiences and also looking at how we can integrate those into inspiring other people, into helping you maybe. And throughout the afternoon I felt what my body was telling me, and at a certain moment I just decided, okay, let go of the 48 as a number for the hours. I reached what I needed to reach. I did what I had to do. So now I can eat again. And so I ate, and probably I'm going to be fasting today. I don't feel the need to eat yet. Yeah, I can feel like my stomach is empty now. But I don't feel like I really have to eat now. So I will listen more to my body. And yeah, of course, it's also summer, so it's warmer, so I need less food. But I don't know what will happen there yet. But I feel that the intermittent fasting is taking a new shape. And in the evening I had the entrepreneurial call, which had changed, which we agreed to change the hours, but it's really funny because I sat down, like, okay, when I have the call, and then I was waiting, and then I was suddenly like, oh, wait, but didn't we change? I checked my mobile, it's not at 7, it's at 11. And that's when I decided, like, okay, it's enough. And that one, when I took the time to listen to my body again, and was like, okay, I'm gonna eat. And also the entrepreneurial call was really nice. One of them decided just to go out, have a walk in nature, and so we saw and mainly heard the squirrels squirreling very loud, and the birds, and we got some inspiration there as well, and we agreed on some cooperations. We exchanged some knowledge and also links to interesting videos and stuff, and I got introduced to somebody new with whom I already talked today, and I feel that also there's something nice coming and that will come up, but I have no idea yet. And coming back to the program that I'm preparing, so all those, not really interviews but more like talks that we're going to publish about intimacy and sexuality and the male-female energy. A friend of mine that I actually wanted to ask had watched the interview and then also watched one of my last gratitude videos where I actually talked about the program, and I didn't get to ask her yet, and then I just saw this morning the email like, yeah, and I would love to have one of those talks with you if you wanted to. Like, yay! So that was really fun. Like, the energy was there, and I didn't need to ask. She just saw it. She felt in the moment, or she took her time to feel. I do not know, but she had her own process of feeling and deciding, and so the request came from her. So a lot is happening, and it's really nice, and things are happening more smoothly because I'm more in flow, because I'm grounding even more than before and listening, therefore, and actually being able to hear better my body and what's being told to me. Being it the birds, being it other animals, being it nature, being anything. I mean, I'm more aware, I'm more in contact with the world around me. And it's so nice to experience, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. So if you're inspired, if you want to do this more, I can help you with that. And the first thing how I can help you is recommending you to become a patron, to go to my Patreon page and choose one of the tiers there, so one of the packages. It starts at, it's $7, $11, and then you have, depending on what you choose, you get. And at the 7 you get the videos of the energy at play, and I'm recommending this because that is exactly how I got to be more in tune with the world I'm living in, more in tune with myself. That's why I decided also to make these videos, because in these videos every 5-6 days I do share the science translated in my own words through my experiences, and that's what I record. And it's following this that led me to where I am today. and have been following this already for a few years. And that's why I started end of last year recording these videos, because I realized how things are working for me and how this can benefit others. And I'm still practicing this, so I'm sharing, but before I share, I have already practiced it. And if you listen to the introduction video on my Patreon page, then you understand what I'm talking about more in detail. But this video would get too long if I would also go in detail there. There's no need for me to say it here if you can just watch another video where I specifically explain how it works. And if you would take, so this you get already from the $7. If you would take the $11, you also get the possibility to ask questions that I will answer in the video. So I record separately special videos where I answer questions that are being asked. Sometimes I combine questions in one video, sometimes I make, basically it's one question per person, but I ignore that rule. If you have 3 very beautiful questions, I'll answer them all in one video, or I'll make 3 different videos, one video for each beautiful question. I don't care. I had one person who sent me once 3 or 4 questions, and I was like, wow. So I took all questions and answered them all. Because in the end, it's about growing together. Your questions can inspire me. Sometimes I already have thought about it. Sometimes I already made a video about it. But then when the question comes again, it has been a while since I recorded a video about it, I have new experiences, I have new insights. So I myself, hearing that question again, new things are happening for me as well. So of course I will record a video then. And if nothing comes up for that specific question, I'm like, what comes up is exactly what I already recorded, then okay, I'll link to that video, like, hey, here's the answer. You may not have seen it, but generally it steers up things, and then I create something new. So have a look there, and see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Like, subscribe, and share.